Apple employees keep walking into glass and calling 911. Apple's brand new Glass Galore headquarters is turning quite a few heads. It's also cracking quite a few of them open as well. Bloomberg reported last month that Apple workers were accidentally running into glass panes or walls in the new complex. Well, it's been a month and they're still bumping heads. So much so, there are now 911 transcripts of freaked out Apple nerds who have problems walking uninterrupted. Transcripts for 3 calls were taken during a 3-day stretch in early January. The calls look ridiculous on paper and even sillier read out loud. They all involve Apple workers and no doubt too much looking at your phone and not enough where you're going. Apple should really kick it up a notch and make the floors and ceilings all glass too. Watch where you're going.
Apple has grown so big it needs a new home. Building work on Apple's future headquarters is continuing in Cupertino, California, where it looks like a giant UFO has just landed. Apple's new Campus 2 headquarters is expected to open in early 2017. The main building is a ring-shaped, 4-storied structure that looks like a huge spaceship. The site covers 176 acres. That's about the size of 100 soccer fields. At over 1,500 feet, the main building is greater in diameter than the Empire State Building is tall and wider than the Pentagon. More than 3,000 sheets of curved glass cover the main building, which is a perfect circle. The site will be completely powered by renewable energy, including solar power and biofuels. Around 80% of the site is green space, complete with jogging and cycling trails. Some 13,000 Apple employees will work at the new headquarters, which has 7 different cafes. 1,000 bicycles will be available for staff to use to get around the campus, which will be planted with 7,000 trees. The campus will also have a 1,000-seat auditorium, a 100,000 square foot fitness center, and 300,000 square feet of research and development facilities. Parking garages above and below ground can accommodate 14,000 vehicles, while a visitor center offers views over the entire campus. The total cost to build the Apple Campus 2 is estimated to be $5 billion. That figure is equal to around 2% of the company's total cash reserves. The Apple Campus 2 will be the world's 5th most expensive building, and quite possibly the world's coolest office.
Google planning to build 3 new underwater cables. Google is coming after our oceans. Google is planning on laying 3 new underwater cables in 2019 to help expand its cloud business. The first will run from Los Angeles to Chile, the second will link the US to Denmark and Ireland, and the third will connect Hong Kong and Guam. Laying these new cable systems will help Google develop its cloud services in Latin America, the North Atlantic, and the Pacific region and Australia. Google now has direct investments in 11 cables that are planned or under construction. Here's a question. If these cables are supposed to help Google's cloud services, why are they being laid underwater? Something smells fishy. Google is watching. Google has been collecting location data on Android phones even when the location services are disabled. Excuse me? Since January, all Android devices, even with location services disabled, have been sending cell tower addresses to Google. Devices with cellular data or Wi-Fi connection appeared to send data each time they were in range of a new cell tower. Android devices without a SIM card but connected to a Wi-Fi network would still send tower addresses to Google. With user location data, cell towers could be used to triangulate location to around a quarter of a mile radius, and even closer in urban areas where cell towers are closer together. According to a Google spokesperson, the data was not used or stored, and that the company was taking steps to stop the practice by the end of November. Google's new Silicon Valley campus. The Big G is aiming to build a Silicon Valley hive mind like no other. Google has proposed to build a new complex on land of the former Onizuka U.S. Air Force Base in Sunnyvale, California for $21 million. If approved, the company will construct new offices that'll include 2 large buildings. Google says the new premises could house 4,500 employees. According to San Jose newspaper, the Mercury News, one of these buildings will be 5 stories high. Concept designs illustrate how the office design incorporates floor-to-floor, inclining slopes. The Mercury News reports this will allow workers to get from floor to floor via walking, cycling, or rollerblading. Guess the architects forgot to Google stairs, huh? The project is called Caribbean after one of the avenues the offices are built along. If their proposals get the go-ahead, Google says workers would be in the buildings by 2021 at the earliest.